Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, as we talk outdoors every Saturday morning for 90 minutes here in Memphis and Brownsville and Jackson, Tennessee. And we're talking, we've got to switch streams here a little bit. Let's talk TWRA because they are one of the show sponsors, have been for many, many years. And so we've got a couple in here that I don't know, are y'all, Bubba Spencer and Amy Snider are with us. Good morning, both of y'all.
Morning.
Morning.
And, of course, now Bubba has been the officer for Hardeman County for how long?
25 years.
25 years.
Yes, sir.
So what's are you shooting for? When can you step out then?
I'll probably stay though. I'm 55, so I still have a little ways to go.
Yeah, just a pup.
Yeah.
55. Now your wife right there next to you.
Yes, sir.
We have Amy Snider in here also with us, and Amy, as a lot of y'all know, was the officer in Carroll County. Was that right?
Madison
County. I knew it was somewhere up there. Madison County, which is probably the second largest county out of Shelby, for us people wise and everything like that. And Amy is now the new Region 1 Information Officer. And you've been in the TWRA for how long?
17 and a half years, almost 18 years.
Almost 18 years. Okay, why did you want this new job? Come on, tell us. Bubba, help her.
You know, after a while, everybody...
Pull that microphone over there. Ain't going to bite you.
You know, after a while, everybody kind of gets a little burnout. And that's just honest.
Is that Bubba? He's...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't do the law enforcement job the years that we've done it without having times that you're a little burned out.
Uh-huh. So you wanted this job?
Yes, I wanted a change.
And you talked it with Bubba, and how did that work out?
Yeah. Glad you got it. It's worked out great for us.
I mean, you guys are probably the only husband and wife team here that have been in the state, I guess.
No, actually, there was another husband and wife team up around Nashville. One is Tabitha Lavico. She's in our big game department in Nashville, but her husband retired a few years back.
But they weren't wildlife officers.
He was a wildlife manager.
But she wasn't.
She was an officer for years.
For years. Okay.
Yeah.
And so describe this now, this new change for you. Let's talk with you, Amy, about going from the field to what you have to do now. Because
there was probably about 2 years of a kind of a cross. I was doing some I&E work on the side. For the ones that don't know, I had a child a couple years ago, and during my time in the office doing office duty, pregnant, I started doing some I&E work then. So there's a couple years of transition there.
So did you want this job?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Well, you know.
Come on, answer the question.
Number one, burned out in law enforcement. You get tired of chasing the same guys
and
over
gals.
And over, and gals.
Okay.
And number two, the need for, how do I say this, correcting the public about wildlife.
That's right, yeah.
There's no common sense knowledge today with people dealing with wildlife, and especially with urban wildlife and expansion of the population. We're seeing conflicts. And a lot of times it's just getting information out there for people to understand this is wildlife. This is what they do. Don't panic. Relax.
And you've been in the field for a long time. As one of the, how many female officers do we have in the state? You know?
Now probably three or four.
Yeah.
Three. I'm going to go with three now.
You weren't the first, were you?
No.
I remember Sabrina.
I think.
Well, you before Sabrina?
Polly Rooker.
Polly Rooker was
first. County, I think, was the first.
And then Sabrina came along.
But when I was a child, there was a female game warden in East Tennessee, from where I'm from.
Fonda really?
Whitaker. Yes.
Fonda, yeah, okay. All right. So you talked this over. You talked to Bubba. And, Bubba, what do you think about now having her in the new position?
Oh, yeah, it's much better for us as a family.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And from your standpoint, do y'all see each other much, or do you cross paths? I mean, is this?
Some, yeah.
I mean, because a wildlife officer is 24/7. Technically, you could be called anytime, right? Yeah. I mean, you've had calls at what time?
Oh, there's no every
yes,
minute.
but I'm the spouse that understands, hey, this came up. I got to go. Yep, I know.
You're right, yeah.
I understand. I've been there.
You've been there and done it. So I guess you could say that. So how do you feel, Bubba, about her in this position now?
Oh, I'm very happy.
Is she going to make a good one?
Oh, without a doubt.
And why?
She cares about wildlife, and she understands the realities of wildlife, the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. And it's not Walt Disney; it is true wildlife, and we have a hard time relaying that to the public in general.
Particularly now, it's gotten harder. Hasn't it?
It's getting worse every year. We're having generations of kids raised by Walt Disney.
Yes,
and instead of hunting and fishing.
Yeah,
and so.
Actually, our own son said something the other day about he was watching a cartoon and it was bad to kill ducks, and we had to have a talk.
Yeah, they did. Okay,
yes, we had to have a talk. We had to sit down. I'll turn the cartoon on.
How old is he now?
4.
4. What's his name?
Colton.
He's 4.
Colt.
Pardon?
Call him Colt.
You call him Colt, and he's 4.
Yes.
So things on TV may catch his imagination and everything. But being the wildlife officer, and Bubba's you've been in Hardeman County all
time.
All your time is in Hardeman County.
Yes, sir.
What have you seen far as from the field now? Is it more difficult to be a wildlife officer now than it was when you started?
I don't know about difficult, but it's definitely changed.
It has, hasn't it?
In many ways. We can. Some of the changes I remember, it's like when I started 25 years ago, it seems like we had a bunch of family farms in Hardeman County.
Yeah.
And today it's just almost one millionaire's place next to another millionaire's place next to another millionaire's place. So it's almost, just a change of who owns the land.
And how many wildlife officers do we have in Hardeman County?
We have 2, but right now I'm the only one. There's an opening to be hired.
There is an opening to be. You're doing it. You're it, huh?
I'm it. I do what I can.
And I know, Amy, from your point of view, I know that you worked with, we talked, what was the dog's name?
Dixie. Well, I had 2 dogs. The first dog was Jake, and then he retired a couple years back, and then Canine Dixie.
And Dixie, you have Dixie.
Yes, she's retired now. And
where does she live?
She's living with us.
Yeah. So from stepping out of the field into the office, what is the challenges for you?
Well, I think the dogs had more of a adjustment period than I have. Yeah. She doesn't get to go to work every day. She doesn't understand why I'm at home in the kennel and you're leaving. It's I'm not really in the office that much. I do my time in there.
Yes.
I go in and I take care of it. But right now, man, I'm out more than I ever was. I'm just traveling a lot more, covering some different things. So tomorrow we've got a meeting in Paris.
So you meet and
we've got an upcoming meeting in Paris.
Yeah.
So that's coming up with the carp, the Asian carp. That's a big deal for us. So we've got to plan those.
I think
things.
that's May the 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
May 24th.
24th. Okay, the 24th. Don't they have one on the 10th or something?
Well, there is a meeting.
I saw Frank.
There was a meeting yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, yesterday. I saw Frank Fist at the Outdoor Writers Conference, and he was talking about
the commercial meeting is on the 20th, and then
that's the one I was
talking. Sport fishermen.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to keep up with all these things. So tell our listeners out there, what are your responsibilities now that you're the Region 1 Information Officer? Because I know Lance still has the education.
Yes, he does the education more.
Which is where we're unique in that we're the only region with 2. So talk. What are your duties?
More of the outdoor.
What are your duties?
I'm doing a lot with news radio. I'm doing a lot with the TV stations. Since the story broke about the alligators, I can't tell you how many calls I've taken on public relations over that. Just how to handle the gator, talking to the public, making sure everybody's not freaking out.
Yeah,
and that's the good word to use because that's the calls we were getting.
Well, if you've had alligators there, that's been in the Wolf River for.
We know that.
Well, I know it.
But the public has the first reaction is, oh, my goodness, they're going to eat my pets and they're going to eat
That's
my
right,
kids.
yeah.
I mean, that is honestly the first reaction we get from the public. And the main thing that we've been trying to tell everybody is, Florida averages 7 attacks a year.
7?
Yes, 7. Look how many alligators are in Florida. Look how many people are in Florida.
Yeah.
Mississippi's had alligators for years. They've been hunting them, since 2005, and they have never had a fatality or an attack.
So you're that person everybody goes to now and has to stand up and be the spokesperson. And from being with Bubba, what is it? I got to ask you this, Bubba, because I've known you a long time, but I can still see you sitting on that Sea-Doo with the picture that we ran. But and I appreciate the job that you've done over the years. You've been very professional and things like that. So, talk from your perspective as a wildlife officer on law enforcement, primarily, the change in your time when you started and now.
From the law enforcement perspective, I think things have gotten better.
You do?
Yes. In a lot of aspects.
You think that's from public knowledge and people being more careful? I mean, I
think it's a multiple things. I think it is, as you get older, it seems like, it's more about how you hunt instead of what you kill.
Yes.
And that has changed tremendously. I'm sure you remember back in the 90s down at Webster's, man, we used to go down there.
Do I ever? Yeah.
Man, they used to bring in deer, and everybody be bringing in a 6-pointer, 4-pointer spike. So, number of deer. Now it's more about the quality of them.
It is, isn't it?
It is. And so.
You think the hunters are smarter?
I think maybe
there are some bad apples out there.
There's always going to be a certain percentage.
Yeah. No, so when they see you come up, what have I done now? Here comes Bubba. Because I think sometimes wildlife officers get a bad rap because they think, oh, I've done something.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And you're just there to do your job, which is not the easiest job. You're on call 24/7.
That's correct.
And now are you got regular hours now, Amy? Do you have
I'm pretty much Monday through Friday now.
Wow. Is that not cool? Huh?
It's a change.
It is, isn't it?
But I didn't mind sleeping in the opening morning when he had to go to work.
Oh, yeah. Now we see the opening morning things like that. We used to gather at all those. The opening morning was great at Webster's.
Right. It used to be fun times.
Yeah.
And I miss some of those days, too.
I do, too. Yeah.
How it used to be.
Yeah. So what do you, as we close out this segment, Amy, why did you want this job?
I try to get TWRA's message out there.
Okay.
And whether it may be on the alligator, whether it's on the Asian carp, whatever our message is, I'm that spokesman to get it out there.
And it's social media now, Bubba. There wasn't much social media when you started.
Oh, no,
it was social, but a lot of, and I was the one media.
Yeah.
It is a lot of social media, but it's still face-to-face shows that our officers do, or face-to-face shows that I do, and it's radio shows, and it's TV shows. It's doing all of those as one job.
And so, is your schedule lined up, or do you work ahead, or you?
I live out of a calendar.
You don't? You do,
no,
don't you?
Yeah, I do live out of a calendar. But that goes with personal and work stuff.
So you don't. Your 40-hour week's a little bit different than Bubba's.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And Bubba, you've seen the face of the TWRA change over the years and things along that. I think the perspective now is when Bubba shows up. In the old days they would say, "Oh, here comes Bubba." Now that doesn't necessarily mean bad things when you show up, right?
Oh no. There's a lot of good folks that are hunting.
Yeah,
just a lot of good landowners.
So you don't have a quota of tickets to give.
Oh no.
Everybody thought you did, Bubba. That was the
We've
thing.
Never had a quota.
No,
You've never had a quota.
Well, when Ronnie Shannon was there.
Now watch it. Now Ronnie's listening now. Ronnie is listening to that. I was hoping we get through 12 minutes without Ronnie, but yeah, Ronnie's still listening. Ronnie, that was Bubba said that. Wasn't me, Ronnie. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We got Amy Snider and Bubba Spencer in the house with us. Frank Barton is here to discuss whatever's going on with his business, right?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. And then Guy Trebo, our webmaster, is here too. All right, let's take a break. Be right back. We're going to switch and head over to East Tennessee for a minute and talk to our good friend Ott Defoe on Outdoors with Larry Ray.